Hello, everybody, and welcome right here to the McAllisters, right here in Byron, Mississippi. The first time we've been in the McAllisters here for the South 78 football show presented by CPA Realty. We got more on that later on. I'm right here with Coach Chris Thigpen of the Terry Bulldogs. I'm Trellis Williams. And, Coach, so first question I have, last week you guys had an old-fashioned dog fight there against Provine, coming out with the win 6-0, like you scored on the first possession, nobody scored after that. The defense really shut them down. What were your takeaways from that game last week against Provine?
Well, at some point during the season when you're playing a really good team, whether it's in non-region, region, or the postseason, you may have a one-possession game. We just had ours, week 5 versus Provine. And so defensively, as I said in the post game, we made plays all night. Our defense stood strong. And at the critical point in the game, even when they made a play offensively, we were able to get an incredible pass rush by Omarion Bailey. And on the last play, get a QB hurry, and he forces the throw. And Donald Passmore, one of our better defenders, intercepts the ball, and the ball game is over. So
It was a big play.
offensively, yes, that's what you want to do, come out the first possession and then go score a touchdown and send a message to the other team that, hey, we know you prepared all week, but we also prepared as well. And the only problem about that is, it didn't happen any. We got down there, and knocked on the door, but we weren't able to put it in, after the first possession. And so as a head coach, that's something I gotta help prepare my team better for. That falls back on me. And so we've had a better week of preparation. Certainly, when, in the coming weeks we're playing better teams. It's the first time this week we've played Clinton in a long time.
Yeah.
And, they're even though they're 0-5, they're still going to be a challenge for us, this Friday. So that's kind of what we've been focusing on as a team, is just improving each week, but especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and so just talking about that offensive side of the ball, just had a kind of a little bit of a struggle in the last game, lowest points of this season so far. You can't expect to shut everybody out, obviously.
Right.
But glad when you can do that. What have you guys been doing this week to kind of address that? And, I mean, obviously you had guys out, too, with injury, but how do you address that this week heading into the Clinton matchup?
We've had some of the things we've done, we've practiced more red zone offense. Moving the ball 20 to 20 hasn't been a problem for us. It's once you get in the red area, scoring. We had a missed field goal, we had a missed PAT. And so all of those things are important. As you said, when you're playing a very good team, when you get down in the red zone, you got to score points. We prefer touchdowns, but so that's what we've been working on.
Yeah, and the defense killer, not letting a single point go. The third shutout out of 5 games that you guys played. You guys have allowed under 9 points per game over the first few games. Just speak to the dominance of that defense. That's a really good asset for your team.
Well, a lot of that credit goes to our players and our defensive coordinator, Coach Crosby. This is his 3rd season at the helm at that position, and so we do have some guys that's been starting for 3 years. Omarion Bailey's been one. Donald Passmore is in his 2nd year. You'll have another guy that's coming on now, Kendrick Smalls, a D lineman that plays well for us. Quintarius White is his 2nd year in the defense, so a lot of guys know the checks and adjustments. They know what to look for at each position, and so that's very important for us defensively. And so we want our guys to play fast. We want them to be disruptive. But we also want them to make plays when it counts.
And you guys take on Clinton this week, 7A opponent. They're 0-5, like you said before, the worst start in their history dating back to 1920. But the thing is about them, though, is that they've played all their teams that they played against are ranked teams in the top 25 of the state of Mississippi. So a very tough schedule that they've had so far. And they're going to be really hungry for this game playing at home. So how are you guys preparing, and what do you feel about your team's chances heading into Clinton on Friday?
Well, our players know our goal is to go 1-0 each week. We know we have to play better this week than we did the previous weeks. when you get in week 6, you're at almost the midpoint of the season. Some teams Friday are taking an off week or have a bye to try to get healthy before region play. Um, the last 2 seasons we would have been playing a region game, a region opponent, and so we're kind of conditioned for this week 6 opponent. One of the reasons why I scheduled Clinton was because I wanted our team to face a really good team, right? At some point it's a Hinds County opponent as well. It's not a far trip for us, and so we know we'll face a really good team that should help us out moving forward once we get into region play. Our biggest thing is we want to improve and we want to make sure we come out the game injury free.
Yep. And now, kind of a side note here, Omarion Bailey committed to Middle Tennessee this week. That was some big news there for Terry. You're the first D1 commit on this roster.
Right.
Just kind of speak to his game. I mean, he got a big sack that really was timely there against Provine, putting him far out. Just speak to his game.
Yeah, he's been making plays like that since his sophomore year. He's a guy that started for us as a sophomore. So you don't get too many true freshmen or sophomores that step in and play, at that time, 6A football. But last year he was our best defender on the field, had the most tackles. He won a Capital Region All-Area Team Defensive Player of the Year. He was voted second team All-State. He's really worked hard to improve as a player. So I'm very happy for him. Not surprised. He comes from a really good family. His mom and dad do a really good job with him and their children. He has a history of family that's played on that level. He has a cousin that played there that is currently on the Kansas City Chiefs roster. So they know the Bailey family. They know the lineage. They're familiar with his athleticism, his character. And so I asked him, I said, did you know you were going to commit before you went up there? And he said he had a really good feeling about committing. They were the first school that believed in him. They came and offered him in the spring. And the coach told me, I remember the coach at spring practice telling me, he said, we're going to offer him. He said, just seeing him in person now, we're going to offer him. But he had to run it by his head coach.
Yeah.
And so they offered him, and I'm sure he'll get other offers, between now and February. But Middle Tennessee is a great program, and as I said, they have a real good history with the Bailey family.
Absolutely, and so only the third meeting against Clinton. First 2 times, 07 and 08, were blowouts in Clinton's favor. Never beaten Clinton before. What would it mean to this program to be the first Terry team to beat Clinton?
Well, I talked to him today about, playing in big games like this and them having the opportunity to accomplish something a Terry team hasn't accomplished ever. And, that's something we want to do every year. And, last year we did something Terry's never done. The year prior we did something Terry's never done. So this year is no different. We want to make sure we're putting ourselves in a position to be successful. And we know, Clinton's going to give us their best shot. But I believe in our guys. I believe in our coaches. This is a grand opportunity for us to, really make a statement, to bounce back and really start a great run here with region play coming next week after this game. So I'm excited and I can't wait.
For sure, and we've got more interviews coming up right here on the South 78 Football Show. Are you seeking a new home or looking to sell yours? Well, you need to contact India Banks with CPA Realty. CPA Realty, serving clients in the Hinds County area, including Terry and Byram, and even out to Edwards and Bolton. An accredited buyer's representative and military relocation professional, India Banks is committed to providing excellent customer service to her clients. Call 601-212-3418, 601-212-3418, CPA Realty. All right, folks, we are back right here at the McAllisters in Byram, Mississippi. Right here with me is Patrick Joyner with the freshman team, middle linebacker for the freshman team who just got a big win against Germantown. And, Patrick, man, my first question is, man, so far this season you got that big win over Germantown. What did it feel like to get a big win like that?
It felt good, you know, coming off 4 straight losses. It felt amazing. Um,
Yeah.
but still not satisfied because I feel like it's a lot more that we could have did.
Yeah, and just expand a little bit more on that. Talk about the progression of this team because obviously you get a big win after a tough little losing streak there. Just talk about the progression.
Well, I feel like we're gonna have a lot more intensity coming in to this week because like I feel like everybody wanted more. Like we're
Yeah,
playing more as a team, and I see everybody putting their pride to the side, and we're doing whatever we gotta do to win.
for sure. And just name one player, whether it's college or pro, that you really like to model your game after.
Um, I want to say Demario Davis. Yeah, he a dog.
All right, absolutely, man. Patrick, appreciate you joining us. We got some more coming up right here on the South 78 Football Show. All right, we are right here with Brady Busby. He is a quarterback for this freshman team. And just like I was asking Patrick, I know that you guys are coming off a big win there over Germantown, man. Just speak to how it felt to get that win.
Yes, sir. It felt really good, to come up top after a couple games of losing. You know, we're growing as a team and getting better and being able to work together and get tackles and make stops and score, you know.
Yeah, and as quarterback, you're put in a good leadership position there. Just talk about, just your development as a leader being quarterback for this team.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely getting them out of their heads when on the field and keeping them up instead of down and trying to help them to fix their game and stuff that they're not doing correctly. And same for me.
Yeah, so talk about the progression of this team. I know you are coming off a little losing streak there, but getting a win here. Talk about the progression of this football team.
So we're growing together. At the beginning of the season, we weren't made to be a team. We were just playing our own game and being our own selves. And as the games are coming along, we're learning to come together and play as a team and make catches and make good throws on my part and stuff like that, and making reads and stuff.
What is a player, college or pro, that you model your game after?
Patrick Mahomes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he makes some pretty crazy throws. It's unbelievable, and he's a really hard player. He don't like coming off the field without a win.
Absolutely. Brady Busby, appreciate having you. We got more coming up right here on the show. We are back right here on the South 78 Football Show. I am Trellis Williams, and right here with me is Nick Crawley. And Nick, man, you had a big game last game.
Yes,
Playing
sir.
against Provine, you made a lot of good tackles. Just did a lot of good stuff. Held the team to 0 points as a defense. Just talk about that game and just take us through that game.
Well, first, our defense coordinator, he told us, we're getting another shutout, we'll get a barbecue. So he was like, hey, we got to get this barbecue for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was that. It was that then, I feel like we just, we had like 2 of them at the beginning of the season. They feel good, though. Shutouts, that's amazing. Like knowing that you ain't let nobody score on you, that's a good accomplishment. I want some more for the season, though, for sure. Definitely want to get some more shutouts. I love them.
Absolutely, and a very timely shutout in that last game because the offense just had a little struggle. I mean, the thing is, you guys had injuries on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So only being able to put up 6 points, but very big getting a shutout in that game so that you could get that victory. You've had 3 shutouts in the 5 games so far, holding the other teams to under 9 points a game. You're taking on Clinton next week, a 7A opponent. They are 0-5, but they've been playing. They've had one of the toughest schedules
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in the state so far. So they still are a strong football team playing at home. Just talk about what it's going to take to beat this Clinton team.
Clear. We got to be physical, fast, fear, discipline. Same thing with the other team. That's what we talk. I feel like we got to go out there because I know they want their first win.
Yeah.
They probably feel like this the game that they can win, and we got to just show them that it ain't that we ain't finna let them just come up run over us, and we got to. They ain't gonna let us run over them, and we ain't gonna be able to run over them. They ain't gonna let us run over them. We ain't gonna be able to run over us and all that. So they just gotta go. We just gotta go out there, execute, do our job. We gonna get the win. I feel like offense. They gonna have a better week for sure this week, cause like Callaway game, they had our back the first half.
Yeah.
Like we gave up 2 touchdowns first half. They had our back when the score.
Yep.
Second half we came out, we had their back. So I feel like even though they had a down game, they gonna have our back this week because we are brothers at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I think that was a that's a very key thing right there, because you mentioned that Callaway game, and the offense was really hitting on all cylinders there at the beginning. And in that game, you had their back too, and you're 4-1 because of it.
Yeah.
So 4-1. What is your goal for this football team for the end of the season?
Being Oxford in December for sure. Playing Thanksgiving weekend. I want to play. I want to play our way in December. That's my goal. Let us all our seniors get offers. We all get together to play college and ball on the next level. Then I want to leave a legacy for Terry.
Yeah.
We ain't been to the playoffs in 15 years. That's gonna be a big goal for us. Every class past us, they left. They did something last year. We beat Pearl. They ain't never been done. This year we 4-1. We win this game. We're gonna be 5-1. Then we beat Clinton. That's gonna be a big win for us. So I feel like we just keep doing stuff that's gonna leave a legacy for us as players in our class, our senior class. For sure.
Absolutely, man. Nick, appreciate you
Yes,
joining us for sure. We've got more right here on the show. All right, folks, we're right here with Donald Passmore, senior safety for this Terry Bulldogs football team. And Don, man, last game got the big interception to close it out to beat Provine. I mean, you guys held them to 0 points, which you had to because we only had 6 in that game, but able to get that win. Just take us through that game, what that game meant to this team.
Well, it was really it was supposed to be a stat type of game, but, the offense came out pretty slow. But, the defense was trying to help build the momentum of the game, try to keep the team going,
For sure. And, going into this next week, taking on Clinton, Terry's never beaten Clinton before. Only played them twice. Both times they were beatdowns in favor of Clinton. Now, Clinton's 0-5 this year, but they've played the toughest schedule, like one of the toughest schedules in the state of Mississippi, with all their teams being ranked in the top 25 in the state. So they're going to be hungry for this win playing at home. What does it take to beat Clinton on the road?
Well, we just got to stay with our mindset and our type of goal that our coaches set for us, stick with our game plan that we have going on for this week to play Ken, We just got to abide by our rules and our standards, and attack them, give them a hard-fought game.
So, man, this defense had a real good year, man, holding the opposing teams to under 9 points a game, 3 shutouts out of the 5 games that you guys have played. Just speak to this defense. What makes this defense so dominant?
Well, like I told you the other night, our coach give us a certain standard for each game. We're the second best defense in 6A, so, we try to stay dominant on every team. We come out with higher energy, do DYFJ, that's what our coach tells us. Do your freaking job,
Yeah.
So we got to abide by that rule right there every single game, and we just got to play our parts, do our job.
Absolutely, man. Don, appreciate you joining us for sure, and we got some more coming right up. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the South 78 Football Show, presented by CPA Realty. I'm right here with Omarion Bailey, linebacker for this Terry Bulldogs football team. And, man, I got to get started with congratulations, man, on your commitment to Middle Tennessee. You're going to be a Blue Raider coming up on the next season. That's pretty awesome. Take us through that recruitment process and just talk us through that and just kind of how that went.
Well, really, since they came to Terry in the spring to see me, so they've really been showing love since then. And when I went up there, I felt wanted, so I just made it official.
Absolutely, man, and I figured that you were probably pretty excited about going, especially committing this early for sure. So this season, you guys are 4-1, a great start to the year. Your defense has held opponents to under 9 points a game. Just kind of speak to the strength of this defense so far this season.
Every day we go out to practice. We practice with a purpose. A purpose to get better, and we feel like this is one of the best seasons Terry have ever had. So we try to keep that up.
Absolutely, and so last game against Provine, I mean, you guys had to bring every ounce of that effort, that defensive effort, to get that win, winning 6-0. The offense had some injuries going on. Sounds like we might be able to get some of those guys back this week, so hopefully the offense will be back strong again. But what does it take to play this Clinton team? So you take this Clinton team on, they're a 7A school, they're 0-5, but they've had one of the toughest schedules in the state, playing all top 25 teams. So just talk about what it takes to beat Clinton at Clinton.
We got to come out harder than we ever came out because, again, we Terry. Even though we're having a good season now, we still Terry. So Clinton don't want to lose to Terry. So they're going to give us all they got.
Absolutely, and you know that they're going to be coming in pretty hard there. Terry's never beaten Clinton before. Both times, which was in 07 and 08, were blowout wins for Clinton. Man, so you go in there and you're going to take that with some intensity. So, man, starting off 4-1 on the season, what are your goals for the end of the season? Because you're coming up, this is the last region game, and then you'll be hitting region play. What are the goals for the end of the season, man?
To do something Terry have never done, make it the playoffs, keep working, make it a state, and win state. So something Terry ain't never done. Trying to leave history.
Absolutely, Amari, and we always appreciate
Thank
you joining us for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, folks, here we are. We are here with Cavante Smalls, and Cavante, man, look, man, defensive player up there on that defensive line. This defense has been doing very well this season. Just talk about the camaraderie that the defense has.
Well, I'll say defense, overall, we have been doing pretty good overall this season, and I'm really proud of that, especially D-line. We got a couple of juniors, sophomores that's doing pretty good as well. And I think when the seniors leave, they should be able to step up. And shout out to my coach, Coach Willis. He has been, working D-line pretty hard, so we should pretty much achieve our goal for this summer.
That's for sure. And so now you're taking on Clinton this week, and Clinton is a tough opponent. 7A school. They're coming off a 0-5 start, but playing against some tough competition. Just talk about what it takes to beat Clinton on the road here.
I'll say for D-line, pretty much, D-line we need to pretty much get off the ball, be quicker, use our hands, we need to explode off the ball. Pretty much we need to read the gaps and, read the blocks as well. And we need to get to the quarterback as fast as we can, put some pressure on them.
Yep, and I was talking earlier, and Nick Crawley was talking about how in the Callaway game, the defense let 2 scores go early. The offense had y'all's back there, and then last week, of course, it was you guys having the offense's back, only scoring 6 points. How do you think that's been y'all been able to feed off of each other and kind of fill in the gaps on each other, because you guys are 4-1 for a reason?
I really feel like that because we us defense, once we really lock in, we really are unstoppable.
Yeah.
I feel like D-line and linebackers, we really come together just to shut down any opponent is one.
Absolutely, man. So talk about a player, whether it's college or pro, that you model your game after.
I model my game after J.J. Watt. I really looked up to him as a kid, so he really inspired me coming up through. And, I use some of his moves just to look up to him. And I really want to work hard just to be, reach his type of goals in life, just like him.
Absolutely. Cavante, man, appreciate you joining us, and thank you all for watching once again. This is the South 78 Football Show presented by CPA Realty. So we appreciate you tuning in, and please be sure to go over to Clinton Arrows Stadium to watch these Terry Bulldogs play against the Clinton Arrows. That will be in Clinton. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. If you're not able to show up, please tune into the stream. We will be streaming from Clinton Arrows Stadium on Friday night. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button on the TSJW Network. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, and also follow us on Instagram at TSJW Network. Thank you all for joining us. I am Trellis Williams. This is TSJW Network coverage of Terry Bulldogs football. This is the South 78 Football Show. We out.